Okay, now we'll start the moles topic. What is the concept of the mole? Mole means amount of substance which contain 6 exponent 10 power or 6 exponent 23 particles. So amount of substance which contains 6 exponent 23 particles, what we call that as mole of a substance or 1 mole of a substance. So whenever you have 1 mole of any substance, it will always have 6 exponent 23 particles. Why this number? Like, what is the significance of this number? This number 6 exponent 23 is also known as Avogadro's constant or Avogadro's number. Because Avogadro was the one who worked out this calculation. So from his calculation, he worked out and he found that number of the when there is a 6 exponent 23 particles, he named that group of particle, he called that as mole. And he found that if we have atomic mass or molecular mass expressed in gram, that is equivalent to 1 mole of substance. So atomic mass or molecular mass, if it is expressed in gram, that is also equal to 1 mole of a substance. Example, you have sodium, which is 11 and 23. What is the atomic mass of sodium? What's the atomic mass of sodium here? Sodium symbol is Na with 11 and 23. So atomic mass is 23. So according to the calculation made by Avogadro, that if we have 23 grams of sodium, we have atomic mass of the same substance but in grams. So if you have atomic mass in gram, like 23 gram of sodium, it means we have 1 mole of sodium. And 1 mole of sodium, how many particle will be there? Because 1 mole of any substance, how many particle there are? 6 exponent 23. So it contain 6 exponent 23 6 exponent 23 atoms of sodium. So how many atoms are there in 23 grams of sodium? It always contains 6 exponent 23 atoms of sodium. Same way, like we have aluminium, which is 13 and 27. So what is the atomic mass of aluminium? So atomic mass of aluminium is 27. So when we have 27 grams of aluminium, it means how many moles are there? We have 1 mole of aluminium. And 1 mole of aluminium, it contains 6 exponent 23 atoms of aluminum. And if you have water, water is H2O. So what is the total molecular mass of water? When you work out, mass of hydrogen is 1 and mass of oxygen is 16. So what is the total mass of water? So mass of one hydrogen is, so total mass will be 18. So if we have 18 grams of water, it means we have 1 mole of water. And 1 mole of water, how many particles will be there? It contains 6 exponent 23 molecules. Because sodium and aluminum are existing as an atom, that's why I wrote atom. But water is like a molecule, H2O molecule is there. So it will be molecules. So the concept of the mole, what is the concept of the mole? Mole means it is amount of substance which contain 6 exponent 23 particles, which is also known as Avogadro's number. So if there are 6 exponent 23 particles, what we call that substance as 1 mole of a substance. And it is practically found, like if you have 23 grams of sodium, sodium atomic mass or molecular mass, if we express them in gram, that is also equal to 1 mole of a substance. So sodium atomic mass is 23. So when I represent sodium 23 at a gram of sodium, it means I have 1 mole of sodium. And whenever we have 1 mole of any substance, it contains 6 exponent 23 particles. Same thing, aluminum 27 is a mass of atomic mass of aluminum. But if we have 27 grams of aluminum, it means we have 1 mole of aluminum, which also contain 6 exponent 23 atoms. And for water, water is H2O. So the total mass of water is 18. So if we have 18 grams of water, it means we have 1 mole of water. So atomic mass or molecular mass, which we express in gram, we also call that as mole. Is it clear, the concept of the mole? What's the meaning of the mole? Mole means atomic mass or molecular mass expressed in gram. And whenever you have 1 mole of any substance, it will always have 6 exponent 23 particles. But for example, if you are having 46 gram of sodium, how many moles will be there? It will be 2 moles of sodium. And how many particle will be there? So it will be twice like 6. It will not be 6 exponent 23. It will be double of that. It will be 12 exponent 23. Atoms of sodium. So 1 mole always have this. So it is, we can also use the ratio to work out in different number of the moles how many particles are there. But 1 mole always contains 6 exponent 23. So copy this part. Same way, if you have 1 mole of any gas, okay, you can copy. So if you have 1 mole of any gas, because the gases occupy a space as well, so they don't have fixed volume. But if you have 1 mole of any gas at standard temperature and pressure, standard temperature is 25 degrees centigrade or 298 Kelvin, and pressure 1 atm or 100,000 Pascal. So if you have 1 mole of any gas, it will occupy 24 decimeter cube. This is a space which is occupied by 1 mole of any gas. Like example, nitrogen. Nitrogen is N2. So when we find nitrogen, it is 20. The total mass nitrogen is 14, N2 means 28. If we have 28 grams of nitrogen, it means we have 1 mole of nitrogen molecule. And 1 mole of nitrogen, how many particles will be there? It will have 6 exponent 23 particles or molecule. And what is the space occupied? Because it is also a gas. So for gases, they occupy a space as well. So how much space it will occupy at standard condition? It will occupy 24 dm cube. But in the previous, I cannot write 24 dm cube because sodium is solid, aluminum is solid, water is liquid. This equation, this 24 dm cube is only valid for gases. Standard pressure is 1 atm and standard temperature is 298 Kelvin. 1 atm means 100,000 Pascal. If you have oxygen gas, O2, so oxygen is 16 multiplied by 2, 32. So if you have 32 grams of oxygen, it means we have 1 mole of oxygen, and 1 mole of oxygen, how many particles will be there? 6 exponent 23 molecules, because it is a molecule. And how much space, the volume it will occupy? It will also occupy 24 dm cube. So 1 mole of any gas, like you was having ammonia NH3, which is also a gas. So total mass is 17. So if we have 17 grams of ammonia, 17 grams of NH3, it means we have 1 mole of NH3. And 1 mole of NH3, it will have 6 exponent 23 molecules. And it will occupy 24 dm cube at standard temperature and pressure. So you have to learn these values for the volume occupied at standard condition by a 1 mole of a gas. So definition of the mole, if they say define mole, we will mention mole is amount of substance which contain 6 exponent 23 particle. And Molar volume or volume occupied by 1 mole of any gas is 24 dmq. This is just introduction. Tomorrow we'll discuss how to solve questions related to moles.